Hi everyone, welcome back.
Hi guys.
Nice to see you. So today we thought we'd talk to you a little bit about fragrances that we are looking forward to wearing in the autumn, which it now is.
It's legally autumn.
Yeah.
Stroke fall.
Finally, fall. As you say in Canada, the USA.
Yeah. We've had a really long summer here.
It's been good, hasn't it?
It's been really, really hot for a really long time. And I've had to try and convince myself that I really like freshies.
Yeah, it's hard to do though.
I don't. I get kind of frustrated in the summer because the fragrances I like are woody, leathery, oriental, incensey, tobacco-y, resinous, which are not things which are good for summer. So I've been really... These are not just our top 10 autumn fragrances. These are fragrances which I'm really looking forward to wearing. We're going to do 5 each. I could have easily chosen 25.
Yeah, likewise.
Easy. Because I just want to get those big, rich.
Absolutely, and the things that we look forward to wearing might be things that sort of remind us of the time we're in. That make us think, okay, summer's gone, my mood has changed, nature has changed, leaves sort of crustling. Well, it's crustling. That's not a word. Crunching, rustling. I made a word. Rustling on the pavement as you walk over them. Smells that come with autumn.
Yeah, woody, maybe a bonfire.
Yeah, bonfires going.
Certainly, if I think about the fragrances, I was just saying to you, I think of the 5 I've chosen, maybe by coincidence, I think I've chosen one tobacco-y one woody one incensey one resinous one, and one amber one. And that's just it just happens to be the way it's worked out. But they are all things I think about when I think of autumnal.
Yeah, I don't think I've given it as much structure as that, but they possibly might work out in the same way.
We haven't discussed this before, so there's always a chance we're going to overlap. So I've got a few backup bottles just in case. But I'm going to kick off. So as I said, my first fragrance is a tobacco-y one, and actually I wanted to start with this as my first because this is one. It's September now, and actually it happens to be we've had a few cold days, but it's a bit warmer today, a bit sunnier, and this is a fragrance which I think is good for September, especially the evenings. Is it's still a bit warm. It's starting to get you into that autumnal mood. It's tobacco-y, but it's also sweet and it's beautiful. It is Fan Your Flames by NISHANE. So NISHANE is a Turkish house.
Excellent choice.
This fragrance is based, the name Fan Your Flames is based on a line from a Sufi, some poetry from a Sufi poet, and this is inspired by a shisha pipe, but a shisha pipe made of coconut, and it's coconut, rum, tobacco.
Smells bloody good already.
It's rich, it's sweet, it's luxurious. This is. I said it's one for kind of September because it's still one which I think you could wear it on a late summer's evening. But it's so sexy. It's got so much booze in it, as well as that rich round tobacco. It smells so luxurious. Oh, I really love it.
It's really wonderful, isn't it? And in a way, it crosses the gap beautifully because coconut and rum you could associate with something like Virgin Island water.
Yeah, but you couldn't wear that on a hot summer's day. It would be much too cloying. Whereas a summer's evening, yes, or once we get into these autumnal months, this is when you can start to wear it during the day.
This is like a nice dark rum, isn't it?
It's rich and it's enveloping, and it's kind of sweet, but it's balanced with the tobacco, and there's a kind of bitterness at the back of it. Oh, I love it.
And it instantly makes you think of the sun coming down slightly earlier.
Yeah.
Everything just chills out a little bit earlier. We're not still 10 o'clock in the evening. Glaring into the sun. We're
That's
relaxing
the thing.
a little bit.
Whereas you said Virgin Island water, which suggests you're on the beach, you're partying, having a fun time. This is much more of an evening, stroke romantic kind of scent. I think.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Good choice. NISHANE.
Yeah, NISHANE.
I need to buy this. I've loved this for a while.
Turkish house. Beautiful stuff. Right.
What's next? Okay, I'm going to go over here to my bag of tricks. I should try not to leave the camera aside. I'm sorry, everyone.
He's just there, just over there.
I'm here. So my next choice.
Your first choice?
My first choice is in fact this little guy here. So Vetyver from L'Occitane, which is an old favourite of mine, and I've loved it for a long time. It's sadly discontinued, so I have this bottle and I have a backup bottle at home which is unopened and may stay unopened for a while. So this to me is just a very easygoing, autumnal, spicy fragrance.
I haven't smelled this
Give that a
for
whirl. There's a bit of nutmeg in there. The Vetyver is gently warm. It's not so grassy.
This is definitely leaves starting to turn brown and fall.
Yeah.
Bonfire nights on the way.
Yeah. There's a little bit of smoke in there. There's a little bit of hint of the fire. And there are a couple of reasons.
Sweetness as well.
There is, absolutely, yeah. And there's a crucial reason why I love this so much, is that it also reminds me a little bit of Gucci Envy, which I used to wear back in the day a lot. And it's in the same world. But I love it, and very really natural smelling.
It's such a good they do really, really good fragrances. I mean, Eau de Beau is an
beautiful
incredible fragrance.
And they've got a good range of sort of associated products that go with them.
That is, as out and out Vetyver scents go, that is really, really good. There's a lot going on there. Spice, cardamom.
I love the sort of gentle earthiness of it. It's not too in your face, but it just sort of hums along gently. Discontinued, but you can find these on eBay and various places, and I would urge you to seek it out because it's very beautiful.
Okay, so carrying on the kind of bonfire night kind of idea, I'm going to go for one which I think is the first fragrance we reviewed on our channel, which is one which conjures up bonfires and being in a forest, but not just that. It's a kind of an illicit tryst. So it's also got this kind of like cherry or strawberry lipstick kind of quality to it.
I know what you mean already.
Is Cape Heartache from Imaginary Authors.
Wonderful.
It's a fragrance that I've owned for a while. It's my second bottle. I'm almost kind of 2/3 of the way through my second bottle. I get through a lot of it. My wife loves wearing it as well. She wears a lot of it. It's fur, it's incense, it's fire. In
fact, I saw her on Friday. We did a gig together, and she was wearing this.
Yeah, I mean,
and it reminded me how much I love it.
And it lasts forever. God, whenever she wears it in the morning, comes back late evening, and you can smell it.
The loft is filled with this already. It's wonderful.
This very slightly kind of camphousey, dark green. You think of forests, dark vegetation, fires which have gone out, but still bright incense. But then there's also this incredible strawberry note. Which
it sets it apart, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes it completely original one, and unlike any other fragrance, but it's one which works so well.
And looking at the list of notes on the back here, you know, we've got the imagined notes of mountain fog, and even old growth. I mean, that's a pretty imaginary note. But it's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, I mean. I
mean that's autumn, isn't it?
This is one which I definitely, as soon as the temperature starts to get a bit kind of cooler, it's one that I really, really think about. This is quintessential autumn to me.
So good. That's so good.
Yeah.
And look at the cool little bottle.
Yeah. What's your number two?
Right. Number two coming right up. So I think for number two, I'm going to go in a slightly different direction, which is, we're talking tobacco. So, Tabac Rouge by PHAEDRON. I don't know how to pronounce it. Well, that's them. This thing is a lovely cinnamon honey pipe tobacco. That's the bottle there. Feel free to spritz away.
I haven't smelled this before.
And for me, it's very nice.
So thick and rich, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, it's a big fragrance, isn't it?
It's big, it's bolshy, but at the same time, it has a wonderful elegance to it.
This gets compared to Tobacco Veni.
Yeah.
I think this is much more interesting.
More interesting here.
Like it's bolder, it's bigger, it's.
And I mean. Beautiful. You can't really see the colour on there, but the beautiful brown bottle makes me think of autumn.
The tobacco is such good quality in there, isn't it?
And I love the fact that where Tobacco Veni is more about the vanilla and the base, this is all about honey.
Yeah.
And that honey cinnamon sweetness.
I feel there's a real balance of bitter and sweet.
Yeah.
I still get bitter tobacco in there.
There's the bitter pipe tobacco, isn't there, of something recently smoked.
I think it's much better than Tobacco Veni. I really do.
But I mean, instantly that I wear this, I think
as well.
Yeah, wonderful performance. It lasts forever.
Performance.
And the dry down is beautiful on this. It's warming, it's cozy, it's comforting. It makes me want to sit in front of a fire and read a book in some old country pub.
Yeah.
Which is what we should always do in the autumn.
Great choice.
You'll notice a connection here in the colour of the bottles. Autumn for me is very brown.
Yeah. Lovely.
It is my number 2 after all.
It is your number 2, which is not something we want to see too much.
No.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna stick with kind of I classify this as woods, but it is still a tobacco scent. So it's from the house of Parfumerie GENERALE from Pierre-Guillaume. It's Cozé.
Look at that.
Which is the name Cozé, I think, is a contraction of c'est osé, which means it's daring. So this is a daring fragrance, in that the main note is cannabis, but it's
of course.
It's not just cannabis. It's
that Indian hemp, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just that real Indian hemp, and this is so dark, woody. I also get a lot, especially in the dry down of this. I wore it the other day in my great sprayer. The other day I wore it, and towards the mid and the dry down, I get a lot of chocolate, but that's so dark and rich, and
it's wonderful,
if you smell that, it is daring. It doesn't smell like your average woody fragrance. There's not really any sweetness to it. There's a lot of bitterness, thick, rich. And there's also, I think, I get coffee as well as the chocolate.
Yeah.
But it performs brilliantly. It's one of the very first from Parfumerie GENERALE. Pierre-Guillaume is quite prolific, which one could arguably find fault with, and this is one of his first creations. It's been around, it's more than 12 years old, 13 years old, and it's
the booziness I love, especially. I mean, of course, I'm a man who loves a drink, but I love the booziness of that, combined with the coffee aspect. The two of them together would not normally go together.
It's really big, it's thick and it's enveloping, and there's a big dark patchouli note to this as well. It's real. So we've said Cape Heartache is like a forest. This is Cozé is like a forest, but much later at night. When everyone should have gone home and it's all gone dark, and it's only the very naughty people who are still. I mean, it really is.
And that's forest floor as well.
Oh yeah, it's real undergrowth.
This is up above the heads, up in the clouds.
I mean, he said this is inspired by a cigar box, and you certainly get the feel of this rich dark wood with expensive cigars that have been in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
It really works beautifully, doesn't it?
Yeah, great.
Right, so next.
Your number 3.
Number 3 coming right up. So, number 3.
He's just over there, guys, don't worry.
I'm coming back. This is actually a snap moment, because I brought the same thing. And I thought I'd get it out of the way now, because this just shows we have great taste.
Yeah.
Again, I love it. We've said everything about this. It's an absolute beauty, and I would urge anyone to go and try it, to be honest. It's so wonderful. The unanimous decision from both of us on a blind smelling.
Good choice.
Check out the rest of the house as well. L'Ombre Fauve, PHAEDRON. Weird and wonderful things that they're doing now, like Arabian Horse and stuff like that. They're really interesting. So check them out. So I think you should do your next one, and I will do my next one after that.
So you've got to do 2 in a row then? 2
in a row. No, okay.
No, just do another one.
I'll do the next one now. So snap. Great minds think are similar.
Yeah.
So number 3-ish.
Yeah.
Number 3 is another discontinued gem from the house of Gucci. So this is Gucci Pour Homme, sometimes called Gucci Pour Homme 1, which for me is
something I'm quite jealous of, actually.
It's a quintessential autumn fragrance for me. This is all about woods and incense, and for me, I get really fresh pencil shaving wood. Give that a whirly. I have a wonderful story about this, which is that I found it in a pharmacy in Barnes for £39. They didn't know they had it on the shelves. So it's not around anymore.
I always think the thing which this is closest to is Two Man by Comme des Garçons.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? I mean, it's
wonderful.
really freshly shaved, freshly chopped wood.
Yeah. I mean, for me, this is just autumn in a bottle.
Yeah, but it somehow conveys. It feels like autumn with a clear blue sky on a cold day.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's somehow very, very bracing as well. It's clean.
There's a lot of citrus in the opening, which is sort of disguised by the snuffed match and the pencil shavings.
Oh, it's great stuff. What were they thinking? I don't know if it's something to do with Tom Ford leaving Gucci, but you know, it's one of the very best.
We should say that, yeah, this was from the days of Tom Ford being in charge at Gucci, and this, along with Gucci Envy, which we spoke about earlier, Rive Gauche for YSL, all of these things were under his umbrella. But I love it. I mean, this stuff now is going on eBay for hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Yeah. Is it worth that? I don't know. I would say probably not. If you can find a good bargain, snap it up, because I think it's worth it.
But it's very nice.
It's very beautiful.
So that was your 3. My number 4. Okay, so when I said one of the things I look forward to wearing when the weather turns colder is amber-based fragrances. Amber's an interesting note because it's not a note, it's an accord, because amber doesn't smell of anything. So whenever you see a fragrance list and it says amber, it's not amber, it's normally a combination of labdanum, benzoin and incense to create what we think of as amber. I think my favourite example of this is the fragrance I coveted for a while and eventually bought is Ambra Aurea from PARFUMERIE.
Great.
And this, I think, I would say this is probably the best lasting fragrance I own. I said to Joe that there's a few months ago, in fact, I had an evening shower about 8 o'clock, and as I came back, I wore a dressing gown. And I had 1 or 2 sprays of this. Then I hung the dressing gown on my door to my bedroom, and for the next 2 or 3 weeks, every time I walked into my bedroom, all I could smell was this big umbrella.
It's absolutely monstrous,
lasts
isn't it?
Forever. It absolutely forever, and it's basically
it's so beautiful, isn't it?
kind of labdanum, incense, benzoin, and ambergris. In a way, it's very simple, but the ingredients are so good. And for those of you who know PARFUMERIE, you know the quality is extraordinary. They're all extra strength.
Wonderful.
So although they're not cheap bottles, they're about £200 for 100ml, but they last forever, and the quality is
it's absolutely undeniable.
It's second to none. It really is.
And I get a wonderful Palmer Violet sweetness to it as well in the opening, which is so stunning.
It's so sticky. It feels like you're wading through caramel.
It is really sticky.
You're completely enveloped. I mean, I love. I consider putting Ambra Sultan by Serge Lutin, which is another great ambery fragrance, which is labdanum dominant. But this is just several leagues higher.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
It's so beautiful. It's. In a way, I want to say it's simple because it doesn't feel like there are many notes going on, but it doesn't feel simple. It just feels rich and beautiful.
It's direct, isn't it? It sort of says, these are the wonderful notes I'm going to give you for the next 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy them.
48 hours.
Yeah. And in terms of development in a pyramid, this is not what PARFUMERIE do. They give you a wonderful accord of the best ingredients.
It lasts forever.
And it just goes and goes and goes.
Oh, it's which so good.
When it's as good as this opening.
If you love,
enjoy it.
If you love amber fragrances, even if you just love Orientals, I mean, you have to try it.
Yeah.
Ambra Aurea.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Right.
We like very
What's your number 4?
So number 4 / number 5, because I didn't bring as many, is. So I should really be on camera. I'm coming back. So we're both thinking in the same house here. PROFUMUM. So this is Arso in Italian, I guess. There she is.
Oh, this is incredible.
This stuff is all about fur and smoke and pine and leather and resin.
As the name suggests, it's kind of burning or burnt.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
wonderfully smoky. Dan introduced this fragrance to me a few years back.
Yeah.
And I snapped this up in Rome with the great man here.
It's just, I mean, for anybody who likes these kind of furry, incensey, burnt fragrance, it's completely different. I don't know if you can see on this tab, but it just completely changes the colour because it's such a high oil content in these fragrances.
Yeah, I mean it's
the quality is
rank,
so high,
rank.
and it just if you love the smell of bonfires and burning wood or Christmas trees and those pine needles, it's just that times 2,000.
Absolutely, and it has a slight sweetness.
Yeah, but it feels like such a natural sweetness.
Yeah, exactly. It's completely integrated. And this is a distant cousin, perhaps, of Cape Heartache. But whereas Cape Heartache has that wonderful strawberry, that little sort of strawberry kiss.
Yeah, I think
is more integrated.
But I think Cape Heartache is almost like a cheeky teenager, whereas Arso is like a wise granddad.
Yeah,
it's not that it's not an old man scent at all, but it's so deep and sophisticated and rich and
exactly, and it's a very sort of knowing, confident sort of fragrance. It just says, I'm going to sit here in my armchair in my log cabin, and I'm going to stay here for the next 20 years.
I mean, they're just
happy.
Amazing.
Isn't it beautiful?
Okay, so my
Parfum and Roma, we love them.
I did bring 2 backups, but I'm
awesome.
So I've actually got 3 fragrances to choose from, but the one I'm going to go for, I wanted to go for something which is a kind of out-and-out resinous fragrance. So this is one which is resinous, but it's also got a very, very strong black currant accord, which makes me think of forests again. And the other interesting note to go with that is this inky. I think they call it a maritime ink, which again, it's such an unusual fragrance. It's, even though you look at the notes list and it looks like you could compare it to something like Jubilation 25, but the result is something different. The result is something very moody and dark. It is Mortal Skin by Stefan Imbert Lucas, and I mean this is the most expensive fragrance that out of my 5. This is it's £250 for 50 ml, so it's not cheap. But it is
so worth it.
It's completely. It just smells. I mean, you look at the notes list and you expect to have this huge bombastic explosion, but it's somehow incredibly mellow. It's called a skin, and it really feels like it hugs you like a skin all day. And it's, if you look at the description there, it's inspired by this snake with this incredible bottle. And it really feels like there's this personality which just develops around you and kind of completely takes over. There's quite a lot of a Poppanax in it, but the sweetness of that is really balanced by this inky quality and all the dark woods.
I've never done any sort of drug in my life, but I can only imagine that's what it's like the first time you try heroin. And you think this is going to be addictive, and I'm never going to be able to stop smoking.
It's so addictive.
It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
And this is one. There are some fragrances you wear and you think, I like to walk into a room smelling like, because people will be able to smell when they think I'm good. There are other ones where you just want to turn the lights off and sit in a dark room and smell your wrist. And I think
that's for you all the way.
I think this is one, and it's not actually huge on sillage, and it doesn't project enormously, but it does last for hours and hours and hours. So it's one just to, as I said, sit and smell yourself, and it's dark and it's moody, and we've talked, when we think of autumnal, we perhaps think of forests or woods. This is definitely, this isn't even at dusk, this is at night, this is really late at night under a full moon. When really, not just naughty things, really, really bad things happen.
I love the fact though that it's something that just smells like a non-perfume. It's like the smell you would emanate yourself.
Yeah. That's with a little bit of black. You look at the list and you think, it looks like one of those big kind of Orientals. It doesn't smell like that at all. It doesn't smell like anything you've smelled before.
Again? I think it's so addictive. It is so addictive. It's weird because it's like the opposite of what I think would instantly appeal to me, which would be a huge animalic, leathery thing, and I smell it, and I'm drawn in, and I think this is just for me.
Yeah.
It just hugs you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like a second skin, but that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
What's your last choice?
My last choice. I'm afraid to say it's a snap again. Cape Heartache. We both have a bottle of this stuff, but I can't think of a more quintessentially autumn thing. I mean, it's beautiful. It smells the same as yours, I'm imagining.
It's very, very close. Yeah, really close.
There she is. But yeah, I love it. I love this house. They keep coming up with interesting things, and I think I want to try more from them in the future.
Well, I don't think so. I don't think we've got to 10. We've only got to 8 then, haven't we?
We've done a top 8.
So I've got
2 more here.
2 backups.
Get to 10.
Which I think are bottles which you both own as well. So this is another. This would have been my second tobacco choice.
Yes.
I don't want to do it down by saying it's second because it's such an incredible fragrance, and every time I wear it, it's an absolute masterpiece.
Wonderful
Chergur
stuff.
By Serge Lutin.
What can we say about this masterpiece?
It's just elegance personified, and it's got. I mean, it's tobacco and it's honey. It's got this beautiful iris.
I wore this last Thursday. It was just randomly. I thought the weather's changing.
I mean, it's so classy. I've owned it for a while, and it's just.
There's a beautiful, slightly medicinal cherry aspect, but it's instantly integrated into this honeyed.
In a way, I would say so. Our 2 other tobacco choices were Tabac Rouge and Faneuil Flames, and in a way, I feel Chergur is a slightly more grown-up choice.
Yeah. This is more classically. It's
a black
French.
tie or like beautiful black dress, real formal occasion. If you want to exude class.
And I tell you what, if you want to check out the colour of that juice there.
Yeah. Says what you need to know.
I mean, this thing now is reformulated and it's getting lighter and lighter all the time. I've even read things online about this juice now going more towards a green colour. So I don't know what's happening.
Okay, so that is one of my choices, one of my backups. My other one.
But it's worth. I mean, try it. Really.
So my other one. So we've talked about leathery, incensey. We haven't actually had that many leathery fragrances.
No.
So this is one which is slightly more leathery. It also has immortelle and cumin, which are. I know there are 2 ingredients which people might struggle with because they're both ones which can be associated with BO. But this is a fragrance which is associated with bodily smell and sweat and sex.
Of course.
So
I didn't think about that.
1740 by Histoire de Parfum. It's the Marquis de Sade. And
it was a bit of a player.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive lad. So this has got, leather, incense, cumin, immortelle.
It makes me really happy when I smell
booze. It's rich, it's sexy, it's dirty.
Actually, the first thing I get there is very boozy plum syrup that you might find almost in a really rich dessert.
It smells rich, it smells decadent, it smells indulgent, it smells naughty, it smells dirty.
And the dirtiness is really something you should embrace.
Yeah, because filth.
I mean, BO, it's not.
No.
If that's BO, then I want to smell that all the time.
It just missed out my top 5, but as I said, I could have chosen 25 fragrances easily.
It's very hard, actually, when you have a big collection.
Yeah.
To pick these. And these are not the best in the world by any stretch. These are what we're looking forward to wearing these.
They're what we want to wear, and I can't wait to wear them. We're going to wear all of these. And so let us know what you're going to wear. If you've enjoyed our video, then do hit the subscribe button.
Where is it? Up there?
I mean, it's either down there or down there, I can't remember. But it's definitely down there. But hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon, and you can see more of us.
We're going to try and keep regular and keep sending you content.
Yeah, keep regular and so make sure.
We have to have your porridge in the morning.
Yeah, I think keep regular. But until next time,
happy autumn.
Sniffing.